Okay, this is part 3 of the video for beginners learning how to flint knap. And the first one we talked about angles, and we're probably going to talk about angles all through all 5 of them. Here's a little jig I made showing how angles work. It's like a BB hits there, goes out into a cone fracture. You watch the first 2 and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Okay, I got a piece of clay here. If you remember, I mentioned to you about the center line. You got to have imaginary center line. It don't have to be perfect. You just see it in your mind. But like right through here, guess you can see the grooves I cut would be the center line of this piece. So if I want to strike on this side over here, this piece is below this center line. It's on this side of it. So how do I get it over here is by hitting this way, and if I hit straight like this, almost up, and come down and hit up like this, and I'm going to cut it out with this knife. It's just the way I'm hitting. In other words, what I'm doing is this is my billet. I'm coming down, I'm hitting just like this. Just like this. Now I'm going to pitch it out where I cut it. I'm going to lay that right there. Whoop, I dropped it. Excuse me, let me pick it up. Come on. You ever had one of them days when nothing wants to work right? All right, now then, look at this center line. It's almost over that way. It was like this, and now it's kind of straight. So I'm going to come through here and try to cut it like this and see if it'll cut better. I'm using the same angle. So look, I'm hitting like this, I'm cutting like this. I'm cutting it with the same angle. There we go. Now, look how it turned that center line. I mean, it turned it. Let's see, I got a felt tip that might mark on that. I know what it looks like to me when I'm looking at it. I don't know what it looks like on the video. Okay, this is my imaginary center line. Went right through here like this. Let's mark it up a little bit. But see how it turned it now? Look at that, I got it going this way. So now I got a platform to hit on. So all I got to do is take my billet and come down right here and hit on that platform. So that's the way you turn your center line. So let's do it one more time. If I want to run one this way, and it's in favor, it's below it, but it's not below it enough, I want to come down just like this kind of angle. In other words, I want to strike just like this. So I'm going to take the knife, I'm going to come down just like that, and cut into it. I'm fixing to cut my fingers with a knife. It's sharp, this clay is hard. Cut it one more time. It's folding on me. I thought this clay would do pretty good, and I still believe it's doing good to help you understand how to change it. Because if you're new, you don't know how to do it and how to set it up. But now, if I cut through here with this center line, this is my center line now, and this platform's on this side of it, so I can hit to move that, and I can hit to move that off, because it's on both sides. So I'm going to come back and put these pieces of clay I cut off back to this, and try to do a different type demo with it. And maybe if I just do one end of it, it might work better. I tell you, when I was learning how to knap, I'd hear somebody talking about doing a nipple or a convexity or something like that. I don't know what the world them people were talking about. That was all great to me. It's sort of like talking about a jet engine and how it works on an airplane. You could talk all day and I wouldn't know what you're talking about, because I've never been around it or never studied it or never been a jet mechanic. It's sort of like flint knapping. So how do you make it where people can understand it? Not that they don't know what the word convexity means, but they understand what you're talking about when you're doing this. All right, this is the end piece. All right, I'm going to put me a center line right down the middle of it. It's pretty straight. That's why I think this might demo it a little better. Put my pen up while I'm thinking about it. we go. Okay, this is straight. Now, if I wanted to drive a flake this way, coming down it, it's got a low air there. We're going to forget about that because it's clay. Let's do this side, all right? If I want to make this flake come this way, so in other words, if I want to hit it, when I hit it, I'm going to scoop all of this out. All this out right in here. I want to move it. Just scoop it out. I need me a preform, platform I'm talking about. I'm sorry, not preform, but platform, and I need it below the center line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut in here and I'm going to isolate it. When they say an isolated nipple or platform, this is what they're talking about. Let me straighten my center line back up. I bet it when I'm cutting into it. Okay, this one is isolated. It's sticking out here by itself. So if I miss, I'm going to hit mid-air. I'm not going to hurt anything. If I hit it, that's what I want to do. Now, to move it this way, like my thumb's turning over, I just cut down this way, cut all the way across to the other side now, and that's going to bend it over. Let me straighten everything back up, because every time I take my knife, it bends everything. It's not like chipping. Now look at here. It's below the center line and it's isolated. You hit right here, it's going to come down. I'm going to put this clamp again. It's going to be just a real short deal. I'm looking to, I thought the clay would work real good. It's just too cold, too hard. I mean, it's cold in here. I have no windows and no door. I mean, I have windows, but they're open. And I have no doors in my shop. And it's open. And I got a little gas heater going. I'm going to tell you something. It's cold in here. I mean, it is tremendously cold. I've got on long handles, and I got on Under Armour, and all kinds of stuff to keep me warm. All right, so we're going to do it like this. Okay, see this big square end? This is just like that clay that I was talking about right through here. Okay, this is my center line. Talked about the center line. Okay, there's my center line. I hope that's showing up. All right, if I want to knock something off over here, I have no way of hitting it. It's straight. So if I come over here and come down like I'm talking about my knife with the clay, and I'm hitting in here more because I'm isolating it. Now, see how it's isolated? It's an isolated nipple. My grinder's propping my phone up. Here's a little piece of grinder. I've got to get me a stand on me doing this video. I had my friend videoing yesterday when I dropped the chalkboard. He turned the camera upside down and it made it narrow. You know how they narrow? And he realized it and he turned it over and then it got wide again. And we've had a time trying to get that off of YouTube. Okay, now I got an isolated nipple. When isolated means it's sticking out by itself, a nipple is a little platform or something to hit on. So now when I come down here like this, and I hit right there, there's no danger of me, if I miss over here, I'm not gonna hurt anything because this is isolated. So if I hit it, it's gonna come off. All right, now, this tip square right here, I'm gonna come down this way. If I can break it, got a lot of cortex on this side. Well, cortex is hard to go through. You just have to sometimes figure out a way to get through it and come out in left field and hit it. Okay, now look how I turned that. Turned it that way. Is it isolated? Yes. So I hit straight down, ground it. Now watch this. I'm gonna miss over here. If I miss over here, it's not doing anything. But when I hit it, it's gonna run down that ridge. Now, put it off and made that wide enough. I should have explained it. I had this one this wide, so I wouldn't have to run one big one down and run too little and take the risk out of breaking it more by going down the center. And here's my little deal again. I'm hoping you can see this. Hoping you can see how it went. Now, we got another square edge. Look at here. This is a thick square edge. That's why I found this piece to use for an example. This side is flat. This side is rounded. It has convexity. This is convexity when it's got a rounded center like a turtleback. It's rolled over. So I want to run one down this side. So to do this, I got to hit this way to bring the platform up. If you want to bring it up, do just the opposite. You hit down. If you hit down, it'll raise it up. All right, now I'm hitting down. Remember I'm talking about I'm hitting towards me. And I got the isolated platform. And the reason I'm isolating these is because it's a real thick piece. I'm trying to thin it as fast as possible. But this right here is isolated. Now I'm gonna hit on it. It went all the way down almost to a ½ inch to the other end. Left me another platform and another platform. So it led me two that were already ground. Now, I'm gonna come down on this nipple, just hit down, just straight down a little bit. Kind of clean it up, get a little shape to it. Okay, now, when you look at this, remember I told you with the clay, this point right here is above the center line. The center line is gonna come right through. This one is above it, and this one's right on it. I mean, this one right here would be right on the center line. This one's fine, and this one's fine. So I'm gonna come over here and hit this top one first on the end. I just made me a new billet a while ago. The first time I'm using it, it's shorter. It's gonna take me a little while to get my distance lined out on it. Now I'm gonna turn this nipple up. I'm hitting down to bring it up. So I'm gonna move it up, I hit down on it. Now I'm gonna grind it. If you look, I can't tell what you're seeing. This here should be on the center line. It should be like a 1/16 of an inch on the center line. So I'm gonna come across here, and I'm gonna move up here. Well, I thought I had ground up there, that's why it didn't come off. I realized it was real sharp. That was my bad. I thought I ground all the way up it. I wasn't looking. All right, now, this here is on this side of the center line. So I'm gonna come down here and hit on it. And I did grind all the way down on it and still ground. Okay, that did real good. Now, angles, angles, angles. That's all it's about. I'm hitting down to bring my angle up. I'm hitting the angle down to bring my angle up. Hitting the angle down and bring my angle up. All right, now, this angle right here, if I hit it, should run all the way across there and see where this little ridge is roll over. This is a perfect platform. Wow, I just now noticed this. Look at that. See the angle that's on? It's on that angle right there. That's a perfect platform to strike this way. Now you have a flat surface. If it had a little convexity, it would even do better. But I'm just going to tap down on it a little bit to make it convexity. All right, how am I giving it convexity? I'm hitting down. And by hitting down, it's shaving little pieces off this way. And once these little pieces come off this way, it's going to make it rounded. All right, look how rounded it is now. See how it's going up? It's rounded. That's all I had to do. Now, where was that? Okay, this is one I'm going to drive across. I was talking about. I got it ready. Now, what angle do I use? If I come straight down, it's not going to do nothing. If I go in like this, it should run to where this rolls over. So let's try. We'll go in like this. We'll hold on to it if I can. I said it should go where it rolls over, where I said that natural platform was at. It went right to it on this edge here, and right to it over here. Stopped a little short in the middle, but it kind of, remember how it makes a cone? I told you it's going to make a cone fracture. See the cone? That's what happened. It went right to that edge. Now, I'm gonna take the same thing and I'm gonna grind this. Sometimes you can grind it back. If you have a sharp edge, put your grinder like this and roll it over, and it'll turn it sometimes. You don't even have to do nothing. You can make your platform just with your grinding stuff. I know you've seen these guys on YouTube and stuff. Excuse my cough. They'll take the grindstone and do like that. They're turning that edge with it instead of hammering with it. I'm gonna make this one run the same distance. I'm gonna come in on this angle right here. And it went exactly the very same distance as the other one. I mean, you couldn't pop a chalk line, make it any further. The other one went there, this is with the same distance. All right, now, what did I do? I set it right here, and I hit in like this on the first one. My memory, my muscle memory, let me remember that. Now I'm gonna set it right here and hit in the same way on this one. And it went all the way across there. Now I'm gonna just come straight down on this one, and then we'll come back over this one and hit in the same spot. And it went the same distance. I'm gonna hit right here on the end. Bring this one up a little bit so we can do the other side with it. Remember, I'm hitting down to bring the edge up, angle down and bring up. Now we're getting it turned over pretty good, turned up, I mean. Okay, look at that. Now, I'm gonna get another piece, if I can find one, to, I don't know if this is good enough. It's got a lot of fossils in it. Maybe we can make this one work. Let's try it and see. Not that good of a sample. What's called scraping the bottom of the barrel. I went to the bottom of the barrel to find this piece. All right, I'm chipping down to bring up, down up, bring my angle up. I want a good roll over angle on this. And I don't care about keeping the width because this is a demo. So I'm kind of doing it fast, and by doing it fast, I'm going in deep and I'm wasting a lot of my width. But I want it to be wide enough you can see what I'm talking about. All right, now, look at how that edge turned over that way. This edge was right along here when I started. All right, now, I want you to watch this. I tried to explain this in other videos. We're going over it again. I watch people's videos. I bet I watched Jason Newman's video 50 times on indirect percussion. I learned something just about every time I see what he's doing. Maybe how he gripped or something. So when you get an angle that's working for you, there's a crack right there. All right, this piece went this way. All right, this angle's working. Now, if I put this down here and I hit the same angle, I've changed it. I've changed it drastically because this changes. I've changed this angle like 4 times going down there. Now, if I put it right here, I only change it 1 time, but it only run out right to there. This other piece went way down here. Now, if I change it this way and I hit the same way, that one only come out there. But watch this. If I hit in and I use this natural angle and I hit in for it, I run it all the way across again. So because I got an angle off of my leg, is how you're holding that platform when it hits. So here's what I'm trying to say. I'm not too good at this, explaining things. Remember, this is your angle right here. So this is the impact point. So if I hit right here, this is all that's coming out. That's what I'm showing you. So when I get right here, when I put it down here, if I hit this angle like this, it's going way down here. But if I hit this angle I was hitting, it's only going to come out here. If I hit this way, like this, it's going to come out down here. So let's try it and see. I really need a bigger bopper on here. And I'll go ahead with it. Now, I'm going to put it right here and I'm going to come down like this. It ought to make a big flake all the way across it did. That's where it went all the way across, rolled all the way across. Now, here's another secret I'm gonna share with you. We're gonna talk about it in the last two videos too. When you get a piece that you're chipping on, and here's one I've been working on right now, and it's kind of average thin. Now, when I get it this thin, I've changed my whole everything. The way I strike it, the way I make my platforms and everything. A lot of people don't do that probably, but I do. And this is what I'm gonna do. And this is not that thin, so I'm hoping it'll work. But what I do, when I change all of that, I'm gonna try to show it to you on this little thin piece right here. When it's thin like this, I try to hit it dead center. I'll get it maybe past the center line, but instead of hitting down like this, I try to hit almost straight in. Now, it's real hard to hit straight in because your wrist is gonna curve when you're going down. So watch this. When I'm going down, if I don't bend my wrist, I might catch it. When I bend my wrist, I'm starting to put an arc in there. So that's where a lot of times you think, well, I hit straight in. Well, you didn't because you bent your wrist. So on here, I'm gonna hit straight in, and it moves so much, and it don't break that much. And this is the perfect place to put it, is on the side of your leg. I fluke points like that with percussion, but I run that down through there. And this is something that I don't know if I mentioned on the other tapes. I'm watching them, and if you have any questions at all, call me, send me a personal message. So I don't understand about the convexity. I don't understand about hitting down, moves it up. And I work with you one-on-one. I just do a special little video just for you, see if it'll help you. Okay, I'm gonna put this down here and I'm trying to hit straight in on it. Whoops, it's too thick. Let me see why this broke. It wasn't because it was too thick. It was too thick to make it do right. Let me look at it. Okay, there's a fossil right there. You can see the crack going through there and the color change in it. There's another one right up here, which I knew was there. So I'm gonna continue to use this piece. Like I said, when I looked at it, I saw a lot of problems with it. But it's really too thick to do what I'm doing. I might take one of my thin preforms and think I can thin some more. Okay, let's look at this. I will try to hit straight down. That baby came through there, and by hitting straight down like that, it made the cone fracture. It went out like this and went all the way around like that. Is the way it came out with a cone fracture. Now, let me get here's a broken piece right here. I keep this broken stuff and put it in my box of chocolate sales. I hadn't had one in a while because I hadn't had much broken stuff to put in there. But I'm gonna take just a second here, and I'm changing my game plan as I look at this stuff. And one of my problems is I don't have my glasses on, and probably hit high on that platform too. In fact, I knew I hit high on it, but it did have that crack in it. I hate to break something. I always try to figure out if it's something I did wrong. And it really was. I hit high, didn't have my glasses on, but I think it would have broke anyway because it was an old crack in it. We won't never know, but I'm going to take the blame for it. I'm going to say I hit a little high on it. Okay. Let me see if I can find me a smaller. Nope, that was the same size. I got to get me some new caps for my little ones. When they start getting rounded like this, I replace them. Let me show you a good example. See how that one's rounded? Look at the little ridge on it. When it's like that, I replace them. I just go buy a new one and stick it on there. This one's getting that way. But that little ridge messes your accuracy up now. I'm going to hit straight in. And I'm barely going to tap it. Just barely. And this piece broke. See if you can look at my hand. It's the flakes. If it was only 2 flakes, But my gosh, it come off of something, it's super thin. Now I'm gonna move up and it's super thin. Barely tap it again. And it's like 4 flakes in my hands this time, went all the way across there. Now, I don't know if you can see it. I'm try to take my time, adjust the camera where you can see it. But it's a ridge right here. This is what I took off. It's a ridge. So I'm gonna take this out and try to run one up it. Let's see if I can get this where maybe you can see it. All right, I'm gonna try to run one up it right here. I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna hollow out a little spot right there to hit on. So to do that, I've got to pressure flake it. I can't go down to bring it up on this one. So this got to be perfect. So I'm gonna sit right here and I'm gonna pressure flake down. Okay, what I tell you about isolated platform, look how isolated that one is, just sticking up there by itself. When the tip's this thin, you got to do everything you can to save it. I don't know if we can tell how thin it is on there or not because it's crooked, got little waves in it. Okay, now, I'm gonna try to come down it this way. Instead of cross, I'm gonna come this way. Didn't do it. I didn't grind it enough. Got the yellow wrist too, because it's a demo and I don't want to break it. Woo, there we go. That's a good one. All right, now it's going to be easy. I got the hard part out. All of these flakes right here on my pad come off of it. And this is what it did on here. It came out just like this. I don't know if you can see that or not, but big hollow area in there and the ridge there. Now all I gotta do is just tap down on that ridge. And remember, I'm grinding the edge again. I'm trying to hit straight into it. Trying to go just like that. Straight into it. Straight into it. And it went all the way across except just a little tab on this side. So now all I gotta do is turn it over. Don't have to hit hard at all. I'm gonna kind of hit down. I don't need to hit straight into it now because I only need to run it. Woo, I like to mess up. I only need to run it just a little ways and I almost took the whole thing off. I got it so thin. I'm gonna straighten this up so you can see how thin it is. I'm probably gonna break it trying to straighten it with my pressure flaker. All right, let me grind this and push this little hump off right here. I'm gonna move this real slow to see if you can catch how thin that tip is. If it didn't turn over right up there, don't you look how thin that joker is. And I'm gonna come right out here and try to raise it up. I'm just trying to sand it. If I put in pressure on it, it's gonna break. See if I can find something here to compare it with. Here's a real thin slab. It don't even cover it halfway. Now, oh, okay, here's my knife blade. I didn't see it. All right. I don't know if you can tell the difference in it or not, but it's a little thinner than my knife blade on the back side, and about the same. This is the sharp side here. Back side facing me and about the same there. All right, here's a business card that the guy left me. And let's see. It's about the thickness of that business card. wish I knew how to, I wish I was a photographer, knew how to do that. Let's see if I can do it like this. Okay. This much of it is about as thick as that business card. Right there. In fact, it's a little thinner in places than that business card. I can look down it like this, and I know you can't because my hand's in the way. Let me see if I can do it like this for you. Okay. I'm going to pressure flake one more and give you one more example on it. We're going to call it quits on this one. It's just a preview of what we talked about on the first two. Also, I apologize on the first video I put on there, and I don't know if you heard it or not. Boy, we was going along just as slick as snot. And my friend never videoed before. He was over, and I had to show him how to, not that it's hard, I just showed him how to hold the camera where it won't, sideways where it make a wide field of view. And I get a phone call, and I didn't cut it off where it wouldn't stop my video. And he's hollering, you got a phone call, and he goes to answer it before I say anything. Anyway, it cut the video off. And so it was an abrupt stop in the first one. So when we picked up on the second one, I tried to explain what happened, and we got it going. And he had the camera. This time he didn't hold it right, and he realized it. And when he said something, I turned around and I was picking something up. He said, "Oh, like that," and I hit my chalkboard. I was using the chalkboard like this, and I knocked it off the table, and everything just went everywhere. I don't know if y'all ever had one of those days or not, but anyway, we still did the video. So the first one just cuts off, just like you turn the switch off, but it continues on the second one. So that's what happened, you won't wonder. Now, I'm about 70% sure I'm gonna break this because it's so thin right here, and I'm gonna hit real hard up here to try to run some across, showing you how you hit straight into this edge. Look how narrow that edge is. I see one little high spot. And we'll see if you can see it. It's right there. That needs to go that way. So I'm gonna push down, and pull it up. So I pushed down on it and it brought it up. Now I'm gonna grind it again. Okay, about 8% sure it's gonna break. I always thin this little part at the very last on the end. I get it real thin, but I don't ever get it that thin till the end. All right, I'm gonna put it over the side like this, where it'll help me go straight into it. And it did not break, and it was very successful. There's a nice cone-shaped flake that come out. And here's the way it went. I'm gonna draw it for you. Cone-shaped flake. Hope you can see how it came out. So now I'm gonna move down here and hit and get the next one. I'll hit somewhere right in here where the next one will run into that one. Now I'm gonna move down again, and again, and again that way. This is real thin. I'm gonna straighten the edges up, and don't have time. I've got a meeting to go to, and I just looked at my other clock I got in here. That's why I said it's gonna be a short one anyway. Look how thin that baby is. Right through there. All right, I'm gonna knock some more off. This is what I'm gonna try to move. And this is it. I gotta shut up, man. My wife always hates when I'm late for something. I don't like being late. I can't stand being late. but I'm down here with this going. All right, I'm gonna try to move all that black marker stuff there by striking on it. Moved most of it, but it just wasn't as dull as it needed to be. I didn't grind my platform good enough. There we go. All of that black marks go. Every bit of it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please, if you have any questions at all, send me a personal message. I'll even give my phone number. Call me. Won't come down and stay a few days. I might fix up a place for you to stay. I have a sleeping porch outside, plenty of room for a tent, and put you inside or whatever. Won't cost you nothing if you want to come down and nap some with me or whatever. I'm old and I'm ready to try to help whoever I can. I'm no expert. I'm no great napper. There's a lot of them out there 10 times better than I am. But I got out of it for about 15 years and got back at it. And I've just retired and I just started really enjoying it. So anyway, have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.